Well, this past week, all the markets have dropped respectively. We're going to go through some of the stocks and what was affected that we track. And if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and put them in the comments. The first stock we're going to cover here is Snap. I just done a video on the earnings yesterday.
Absolutely, and when I have been reading my analyst this morning, I'm really leaning toward this being an Apple issue. When it changed the way that advertisers are able to measure the effectiveness of their ads, they really took the wind out of this market, and it's going to...
Okay, you heard it from that gentleman there. They blamed on Apple again, even though the company already discussed that. Further in on this conversation here, the other analyst, this is what he had to say.
App and Twitter back to back, because on the surface level they look very similar. Hundreds of millions of users, slowing revenue growth, and they're both caught in the middle of Apple, Facebook, Google, TikTok, the most competitive digital ad ecosystem ever. But I do think Snap is actually well positioned for the future. And I know that sounds ridiculous when the stock is down 38% today. But again, here you have a company with a strong, engaged user base, a history of product innovation and actually successfully delivering on it, and strong, stable leadership. And I think investors...
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also place this video down below in the remarks once I edit this video and everything. We also have earnings coming up that I want to discuss. We got QS coming up. They're going to be disclosing earnings on the 27th, which is Wednesday. Now, so this stock has been going up lately, just so you guys know, and it pulled back just recently over the last day or two. Now, this company, just so you understand, they have a contract with VW. Welcome aboard, TJ, or TG. They have a contract with VW. Now, they're still building their factories and all that stuff, and they're still working on their scientific results and everything for these batteries. So I want you to dig into this stock a little bit if you decide to play in the options area. Stick with the options side of the house, and I recommend doing spreads. We're going to cover a couple of more stocks here for earnings that are coming up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through our Snap trade. This will give a little bit of time for folks that haven't got onto the channel yet. Now, what we have here is TLRY coming up. That's one of the stocks we've been tracking. They're going to be reporting before the markets open on July 28th, which is Thursday. And here are some points here that the revenue has been increasing 23% in the third quarter, driven by 32% growth in cannabis revenues. 64% rise in beverage alcohol revenue and wellness revenues. The trend is likely to have continued in the to-be reported quarter. Now, on February 8th, TLRY Brands launched TLRY Medical, a new comprehensive global division focused on international medical cannabis advocacy and a portfolio of EU GMP certified medical brands and products. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pre-earnings report, and I'm going to dig through all this of TLRY and send it out before earnings come up this next week. Just giving you a heads up on that. Now, what I've been seeing over here on the TLRY side of the house, because earnings are coming up, we're looking at the option week of July 29th. Okay, you can see the shares traded right at $3.50 at closing on Friday. So it came down 25 cents or 6.67% because the market crashed on us on Friday. So you're seeing people are getting interested in the 350s and the 4s here on the option side of the house, on the put, on the calls, and then on the put side of the house, you also looks like people are interested in the 350s and 3s. You see that volume of 1,000 options? These guys might be performing spreads here as well, as these folks up here might be performing spreads. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of information on the unusual activity there. Now we have an earnings calendar here for July 25th through 29th. I'm going to also place this down below as well for you to review it. And it covers all these, pretty much these are S&P 500 companies here. The noteworthy is coming up on Google, coming up on Tuesday. That could affect the market. Whenever those big hitters like Microsoft is also going to be discussing their revenues as well. And then we also have Apple down here, if I'm correct. Meta is coming out on Wednesday for earnings. And Thursday you got Amazon. And then you got Apple coming up as well. So these are the big hitters that are going to be coming up on earnings this next week. So the market can do some crazy stuff while this is happening. So I'm going to place this down below in the remarks as well. If you want to look at some of these companies and research them, if you want to perform spreads or any options, I recommend you stick with options in these stocks, because the most you can lose is what you buy a put or if you bought a call. Okay, the other thing I want to cover here is unusual activity that we get 3 and 3 from John Nigerian. Now, some of these trades have not panned out well at all. I just want you to give you a heads up. So whenever you do trades with John here, or take any of these solutions here, is you want to do spreads. So you protect your downside, or protecting your upside, or your capital. Because some of these are pretty pricey options that they discuss. So just keep that in mind, and remember, try to, if it dives too far south on you, try to get at least 50% of it back. Now I'm going to show you a case in point here once we go through Snap, what I didn't do, and learn from my mistakes. Alright, let's bring her out here. Our open positions. As you all know, if you guys watched Snap videos, if you haven't, go back and watch those 2 videos that I made on Snap. This was our protection trade. This was our put trade. We did a 13.50-16 spread for a weekly, 22 expiration date, which was yesterday. Okay, we also did a call. Now this call, because what happened was the stock dropped so far down when it opened, I could only get back like about $10 back out of the 255 because I didn't do a spread. Now, if I would have done a spread like a 16-18 or a 16-19, at least I would have received a little bit of cash like I did down here on the put side of the house. So I should have turned this into a spread. It's my mistake, and I could have done it down here for Halliburton. I would have been in the profits. I would have had more profits than $10 when I got out of it. I did that here on Coin. I got out of it too quick. I could have just go ahead and ride this thing out throughout the day, and then it could have changed prices on me. I could have made more money off of this trade. But let's go back to Snap. Now, we achieved our $778, the max profits we can make. Because what happened was, in our account, let me show you on our document of what happened in our account. This is what my account showed on Snap. So 2 options were closed here and 2 options were exercised. 2 options were assigned, 2 options were exercised. What was exercised? Well, the 16s were exercised, so they had to pay me at the 16 level for my shares. Now I had to turn around and buy back those shares at $13.50. And that's why I ended up with that $745 worth of profit. Okay, you can see it right here. I bought 200 shares at $13.50 at $2,700. Now I sold the shares at $31.99.93 cents, which is 7 cents. They kept 7 cents out of this trade, which isn't nothing. So I want to show to you what happens when you do the spreads on the put side of the house, and it goes in your favor because the shares dropped for protection. Now, if you have any comments, go ahead and place them down below as well. So that's what happens on the put spread. When you buy the 16s and you sell the 1350s on the snap. And it was a bad quarter. So we had some protection here. Now, we weren't too smart here on the call side of the house because we didn't have a spread. So it didn't offset the $245. So basically, between the two here, I achieved $533 worth of profits because I lost $245 here, but I gained $778 there. Now we just have a couple of other options are open in our account right now. Is a SPY. I want to protect it on the downside. And then also we have Stone. Now for the month so far in options area, we achieved $638 worth of profit so far in July. Now some didn't go our way and others did. Right now, we're not buying stock, we're not selling stock. We're just maintaining our positions. All right, does anybody have any questions whatsoever that a certain stock or anything that you want us to go over? Go ahead and put it in our chat right now. We'll wait a minute or so for you. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to cut this video short. Welcome, Dark Matter. I know you guys came here kind of late. You guys got any questions? Okay, in reference to their option trading platform, I've been doing well with it. I got a bunch of option videos. All you have to do is go to my website. You click it here, and you got a bunch of videos right here. Some of these are live trades that I've performed in the past. A lot of great information in there. I hope that helps, Dark Matter. I appreciate you guys joining. This is just our second test live performance, and we're going to work on performing one of these every Saturday at 1000 hours. I hope everything's okay with you guys. Everyone take care and be safe.